All right, let's move on and do the Sunday Express now. And famous head teacher Catherine Burblesing has branded Jess Phillips racist on Twitter. Popcorn gifts at the ready, Lewis.
Yes.
Twitter spat.
Okay, well, UK's strictest teacher brands Jess Phillips, who's an MP from somewhere. She's a Labour MP, as a racist in bombshell letter to Keir Starmer. She was basically she didn't like I don't. Let me.
It started with the I Can Tina Turner tweet. So Tina Turner died, and Catherine Burblesing put up a sort of tribute tweet. But weirdly, it had a picture of I Can Tina. But obviously, she didn't deliberately mean this.
She didn't get the menu.
It was a montage.
And then everyone pretended absurdly that she was pro-domestic violence. And Jess Phillips shared it and said, "Oh, domestic abuse is never okay, and will defeat those who prop up the status quo." As if Catherine Burblesing was pro it.
But the funny thing was, Catherine Burblesing, whatever her how do you pronounce her name? She basically accused her of being racist.
Yeah.
That's a stretch.
It's
unconscious bias.
It's unconscious bias,
Prince Harry,
which we on the right don't believe in unconscious bias. There's enough real bias as it is.
Yeah.
But wasn't that quite clever? I'll move on to you, but wasn't it quite clever to use unconscious bias back against them? What do you think, Gina?
Yeah,
I think it's ridiculous. It's not unconscious bias or anything or racism. I just think that this Jess Phillips woman doesn't like this Catherine woman. She's famous for being the UK's strictest teacher, so maybe she doesn't like strict teachers.
Yeah, and she's a conservative.
She runs a brilliant school where she's sort of strict in a way that would have just been normal like a few years ago.
She's a conservative as well.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why they like her show. Yeah,
of course it is, but what was so absurd was the pretense, the ridiculous idea that Catherine could have in any way meant to be advocating domestic violence. So that was the absurd. So you can understand why she's angry and hitting back. And she's arguing that it's like, Jess Phillips doesn't like my views because I'm a woman of colour who doesn't have the approved views.
And you were right. I think he's right. You were right, Nick, is that she threw it back at her. It's indefensible. It's like throwing a hot cake back at her. She doesn't know how to handle it.
I think both sides is ridiculous, me personally. I don't think.
No, we don't. What do we believe here at GB News?
We back Catherine Burblesing.
We back Catherine.